So, Richard.
Simon.
So, what made you become an actor?
I ran away from it for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did drama during school and everything, and then when I left school, I didn't want to go to university or anything, so I went overseas and I played water polo there and pursued a sports career. And then I was getting sick of that, and I thought, well, what have I always been interested in but never had time to pursue? And it was acting, so I went to varsity and trained there and did theatre and film. Came out of there going, I want to do something in this industry, but I didn't know what. And I thought about auditioning for drama school then, and then thought, no, that's too much hard work.
How old were you then?
I would have been 24?
Yeah.
24, yeah. So I just went and did a whole lot of jobs, from kids theatre, lighting, I did casting, I was a production manager at Circa, I did telemarketing on the phone, which was possibly the highlight, and the real kicker to go, no, go to drama school. Because I thought life has got to be better than this. They give you a script when you're telemarketing, they give you a script to learn and you say it over the phone. And I knew that I'd found the calling when I went off script, and talking to this customer, I went completely off script, and my boss started coming over to me. He was listening to what I was saying, and I hung up, I made the sale. I hung up and he goes, okay everybody, I'm just going to get Richard to talk you through what he did then, because he was very smart and he went off the script and he listened to the customer, so what we're going to do is just get him to explain how that went. And I realised that was my calling.
Telemarketing. Or going off script.
Yeah, going off script, I think. Yeah,
yeah.
Definitely a highlight.
So you've been to Centrepoint a couple of times now.
Yeah, third show here now.
Yep. What's your experiences been?
The first one I wore stubbies and a fat suit, and that was just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Because you don't.
They were good looking stubbies though.
I know, and you don't get to wear stubbies in public unless you want to be laughed at. So.
And luckily in this industry that is part of their job.
Yeah. So that was great. And that was my first professional show too. And again, it was a comedy, a New Zealand play with a great cast wearing fat suits. So there's a lot of bonding in that.
And a mo.
And a mo.
Yeah.
First time being allowed to keep a mo, which was then kept for about 6 months afterwards. So I went from that to doing the farm last year, which was mostly lycra I wore. And a G-string. To this one where I have a pretty normal costume actually, it's good.
Yeah. And is the frock you wear quite important to you?
Yeah, definitely.
You only take it on if it's a good costume?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Or haircut.
Yeah.
No, I've been really lucky. All the plays I've worked on here have been New Zealand works, which has been really interesting actually. You know, I don't have to put on an accent, which is good.
Right.
Oh no, I did Russian last year.
Oh, interesting. How do you think that Centrepoint differs from the other theatres around that you've sort of been to or experienced?
I find the feeling at Centrepoint is really supportive in terms of helping you find accommodation here, finding stuff to fill up your room, things to do. They send you out a pack with physios, doctors, activities, free gym membership. Just the whole setup is really supportive in getting you here. And in terms of the community here, they're really open to, Centrepoint Theatre. Before this show we did, I think, 7 or 8 radio interviews for the show, which is unheard of. Good Morning was organised. And I know at other centres it's a lot harder to push something like that into the public sector. And I just think it's a really supportive environment here from the staff, the $2 drinks in the bar.
What would you tell other actors?
We don't tell other actors.
Yeah, who haven't been here, and sometimes I know some actors go, "Oh no, I don't think I can go past and off."
It's really odd. The first show I did here was just great, and so I love coming here. I love the environment here. It's like going on a sports trip where you're away for 5-6 weeks with a group of people, and that's your life for that amount of time. There is this weird thing of, I don't want to go to Palmy, but then people come and work here or come see a show here, and it sort of opens their eyes a bit. But it's a great theatre, and the shows that are done here are really, really well supported, and the staff are really, it's a superb experience.
Cool. What about the role of Rory in this play? How was that? How did you approach that?
Well, Peter told me that I was playing his dad, which immediately gave me the shits. Because I thought, oh no, I have to base it on someone real. No. But it's loosely based on his dad. And when I first read the script a couple of years ago, it was just a really interesting path that he goes on. From being someone who just kind of lets life happen to him to actually making a decision, and then the results of that decision sort of weighing down on him near the end of the show. But in terms of the show itself, it's a really important piece of New Zealand history, I think, too. So yeah, there are a whole lot of elements that interest me. I'm also from the West Coast. Well, my dad is, so that's another thing.
What do you think about the darkroom?
It's great. Did you know they have a space here for fringe theatre that you can do?
Cool.
It's just attached to the back of the theatre. And all you have to do is say, I want to do a show. Have you got a show on at the moment? Yes. Okay, can we use the darkroom? Yes. Okay. And then they do everything else. It's great. Yeah, I've seen a couple of shows here, and it's the audience that comes to the darkroom shows are more student oriented. There's a lot more students that come in from there that don't go and see the main shows. So it's kind of like forming into the bats of Palmerston North. But yeah, it's great.
And it's a tricky question, but what do you think? You don't do tricky?
No.
I'll try curly.
Okay. I can do curly.
What do you think we could do at Centre Point to build audiences more? Is there anything kind of jumps out at you?
I read a survey, and they said offer a free drink with every ticket that you sell, which I don't know if that's feasible.
So if we started offering free drinks, do you think we'd just get inundated with people?
Drunks.
Probably.
Yeah. It's hard to know. Some shows appeal to audiences, other shows don't. I think in terms of the coverage that I've experienced of the shows that I've been here, there's a lot of publicity, radio stuff done. I don't know. I was talking to Bob, who's on the board the other day, and he had a really good idea to go travelling for a couple of weeks to other towns. So you perform here for, I think, 2 or 3 weeks, and then for a week you go to Wanganui, and then a week you go to Hastings, which I think is a really, really good idea. And I know they do it in Dunedin. Yeah, I think 2 shows a year they tour around the smaller centres. Which would bring in a whole new audience too, because it's not a long drive to Wanganui.
No.
And if they have a show from Centre Point that goes and plays there, and they like it, then they'll be inclined to come into a Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday show that's an early show.
Yeah. So, last of all, when you meet, fresh people who are looking to get into the industry, what would you say to them? What would be your advice?
Don't rely on me. No, I don't know. It's one of those weird things that my dad says, throw enough shit at the wall, eventually some of it will stick. And I think that's...
He is from the West Coast, though.
Yeah. And I just think that's, good. You'll go through good times and then you'll go through bad times, but as long as you don't lose sight of the reason why you first became interested in this industry, then that should be enough to get you through. So as Eddie said, just keep at it. It's not going to be roses all the time, not for someone like me. But stick at it. Keep reminding yourself why you first turned to this industry or became an actor or whatever you do, and think of that.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Simon.